In order to prevent your lock from freezing, you find yourself a nice 100% or 90% wool sock that you're not going to use anymore. You're going to put on a lock and make a loop and tie it above the lock itself. Squeeze it. Voila. If the sock is stretchy, pulling it and tying it will be easier and the sock won't fall off. It's firmly on. And best if the lock is facing down. The thicker the sock, the more moisture, rain, and snow it could absorb without reaching the lock, keeping the lock nice and dry, ready to open anytime you need it with ease without freezing. That's the whole point of it. No freezing, no frozen locks, no more. Okay, the conditions are wintry. For a long time I've been thinking now how to keep my locks from freezing up during snow, freezing rain, and so forth. I researched some chat rooms and somebody suggested socks. Just putting socks on your lock, not chemicals, not blowing smoke up your lock, not putting a lighter, not blowing hot air, although hot air does work when you blow it up the lock, but it introduces extra moisture, so why would you do that? So I found a wool sock that I wasn't going to use again, and I tried it during conditions that should have made it freeze right away. So after a day and a half of rain and 19 degrees, I'm going to try opening it now. Now the sock is like 99% wool. You want it wool because the wool keeps the moisture away from the lock and for example from your body. You're not gonna do any sports wearing cotton when you're sweating because the sweat is gonna be on your body. But if you use wool, the wool is gonna keep it away from your body. You can see the snow on the sock, and the sock is frozen. Totally frozen solid. It's pretty funny. It's solid. Solid as a rock. How to take your frozen sock off the lock video. This is not gonna work. Rip it off. You know, I'm even curious if this is gonna work because this was a really critical kind of a test. Voila! Success! It's not frozen! Yeah, the wool sock works! Now for a bicycle lock, like this U-lock here, a big stretchy sock might work as well, but it's gonna look goofy, so I recommend going with this. This is foam pipe insulation, available at plumbing or hardware stores. So what I did is I cut long enough to overlap the locking part of the mechanism. I also cut out 2 holes for where the U-shaped bolt goes in. These insulation tubes come in different sizes and they're very easy to cut. This insulation comes pre-cut lengthwise with sticky tape on both sides of the cut. So first I measure my lock and I give 2 extra inches. And then I cut the insulation to that measurement. Then I measure where the openings in the lock are, and I transfer those measurements to the insulation, 1 and 2. And I cut the holes in the insulation to match those openings. The cut has an adhesive that once put on, it could be sealed. And press the foam together to seal around the lock barrel. And this is how it works. I tested it in every kinds of weather, freezing, rain and snow. I also make sure to keep the keyhole pointing down when it's raining. By keeping the lock part up and the keyhole pointing down, every hole in the lock is pointing down, allowing for the moisture to drain out before freezing.